Imagine you have a best friend. You have been building a life with them for 30 years. You trust them with your life, your finances, your secrets. You love them deeply. But the bedroom door has closed. Maybe it's medical. Maybe it's menopause. Maybe the desire just evaporated. You have tried the talks, you've tried the therapy, and the answer is simply, I'm done. So, you are left with an impossible choice. Option A, you cheat and destroy the trust you built. Option B, you divorce and lose your best friend. Or option C, you accept a life of celibacy that you didn't sign up for. But what if there was an option D? Welcome back to Aged and Confused. I'm Michael. Last episode, Elle talked about how to ask for intimacy, but today we are talking about what happens when the answer is still no, but the love is still yes. We are diving into the hidden world of open marriages and hall passes for people over 50. Is it a lifeline that saves marriages, or is it a grenade that destroys them? First, let's take the shame out of the room. If you are considering this, you aren't some deviant. You're actually part of a growing demographic. According to data from Psychology Today and usage stats from lifestyle apps, the 50-plus demographic is one of the fastest-growing groups exploring consensual non-monogamy, or CNM. Why? Because we're living longer. If you hit 55 and your spouse retires from sex, you might have 30 more years of vitality left. That's a long time to go without human touch. Many therapists are now seeing couples who view sex like tennis. If your wife has a bad knee and can't play tennis anymore, she doesn't mind if you go play a match with a partner at the club. She just wants you to come home to her. But sex carries a weight that tennis doesn't. So how does this actually work in real life? Let me tell you about Sarah, 62, and David, 65. David had always had a high drive. Sarah went through menopause early and then developed a chronic health condition that made intercourse painful and exhausting. For 5 years, David suppressed his needs. He suffered in silence. But he was becoming resentful, short-tempered, and depressed. He felt guilty for even having desire. Sarah knew it, and she felt immense guilt. Every time David touched her, she felt panic, thinking, I should do this for him. But her body screamed, no. In therapy, it was actually Sarah who suggested the hall pass. She told David, I love you. I want you to be happy, but I cannot be the vessel for that happiness physically anymore. I want you to find a friend. They set strict rules. No falling in love, no bringing anyone to their house. David now sees a woman he met twice a month. The result? David comes home recharged and affectionate. The resentment is gone. This is what therapists call outsourcing. It removed the pressure, and it saved their marriage. Now, I want to flip the script, because it isn't always the husband chasing the wife. Let's talk about Diane, 55, and Robert, 58. Robert had battled prostate issues and diabetes for years, leading to severe erectile dysfunction. The pills didn't work, and the desire faded. Diane, however, was hitting her stride. She felt vibrant, alive, and incredibly lonely. Robert was avoiding her because the bedroom was a place of shame. Every time she reached for him, he felt like he was failing a test. One night, Diane sat Robert down and asked him, if we can't do this, can I find a friend who can? I want to talk to the men watching this. Robert's first reaction was pure, white-hot anger. He felt emasculated. He felt replaced. He felt like she was asking for permission to cheat because he wasn't man enough. But then the anger faded and relief set in. Robert realized he'd been carrying a 100-pound backpack of guilt every day. He knew he couldn't fix his ED right now, and he hated seeing her unhappy. He realized he could let his ego destroy the marriage, or he could let his ego go and save his wife. Robert agreed. Diane found a partner, and Robert's anxiety vanished. He became more affectionate with Diane, holding hands, cuddling on the couch, because the threat of performance was gone. He told his therapist, I realized I'd rather share her body than lose her heart. That, my friends, is courage. But listen closely. This is the danger zone. Opening a marriage isn't a band-aid. It's a surgical procedure. You must define your terms or you will fail. Polyamory means multiple loves. This is having a second girlfriend or boyfriend. For most couples over 50 trying to save a primary marriage, this is dangerous. If you fall in love with someone else, the original marriage usually crumbles. This is different. This is solo and compartmentalized. It's about sensation, not salvation. Therapists warn that for this to work, you need the veto rule. The spouse staying at home, the one who didn't want to open the marriage, must have the unilateral power to say stop at any moment, no questions asked. If they don't feel safe, the foundation collapses. Before we talk about the script, we have to acknowledge a fundamental truth that couples often ignore. It might not be personal, it might be physiological. If your spouse, male or female, shuts down, the first step, even before the hall pass conversation, must be a doctor's visit. For men, it could be low testosterone due to aging, side effects from blood pressure or cholesterol medications, or untreated sleep apnea. For women, it is often severe vaginal atrophy or pain from menopause, which makes the idea of intimacy a physical dread. If your spouse is terrified of sex, telling them to just try harder is cruel. You're asking them to endure physical pain or shame. You owe them that chance to explore the medical fix first. If you are considering this, do not start with a demand. Do not start by saying, "I want to sleep with other people." Therapists suggest starting with a hypothetical to gauge the temperature. "Honey, I've been reading about couples our age who handle the libido gap in different ways. Some divorce, some suffer, and some try outsourcing the physical side while keeping the marriage strong. When you hear about that, what is your gut reaction? Does that sound like a crazy idea to you or practical?" Listen to the answer. If they say, "That's disgusting, I'd kill you," then the door is locked, and you must respect that. If they say, "I don't know, it sounds complicated, but I understand why people do it," then the door is cracked open, and you can start therapy. Opening a marriage isn't for everyone. It requires a level of trust and communication that most people don't have. But for the couples who make it work, it's about keeping the promise to stay together even when the bodies change. But what if the issue is not external, but internal? Next time on Aged and Confused, we're switching gears. We're defending the spouse who doesn't want sex. We're looking at the deepest reason desire dies, the resentment wall. I'm Michael. Thanks for trusting us with the hard stuff. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the third act.